Let's start with that big news about Madeleine McCann and the new search, because there is hopes of a breakthrough this morning. Police are beginning, as we say, a new search in Portugal. GMB's Richard Gaisford is there for us. Richard, look, you've been following this story since her disappearance in 2007, but this particular search, it's over all the British papers. Does it feel to you bigger than any of the other searches and more close to a breakthrough?
Well, certainly quite intense, quite immediate. In the last few minutes, we've had German police vehicles going up the track behind me towards a search scene, not saying anything about what they're looking for or why they're here, what new information they might have. If you take a look at our drone pictures, Ranvir, from this morning, you can see the focus of today's search, or this initial search, and that is a dilapidated, ruinous farmhouse in scrubland just along the track from where I'm standing now. Police have said that they will be looking at 20 or so locations like this, looking specifically into wells, into water tanks, looking throughout the ruins. Just a bit further down from there on the coastal path, heading towards the cliffs, they've set up something of a base. There are tents, there are a police van there, and that is going to grow throughout the day. All of this, we're told, is linked in some way to Christian Bruckner, who is the German police's prime suspect in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. It's known that he was in the area when she disappeared, currently in jail in Germany for the rape of an elderly woman in Praia da Luz. The Metropolitan Police, they've also been out over the years looking for information, hunting for signs. They've said they will support the Germans in this, but they are not here. And I think what's interesting is that still there is an interest from the British police in this. In fact, they've just been given Ranvir another £100,000 from the government to the Met Police to keep that investigation going.
All right, Richard Gaisford, live in Portugal this morning, thank you. Now, broadcasters Sonali, Shah and Tyler join me now. We're going to talk about, obviously, a few other stories in the news this morning. Good morning to both of you. But Sonali, of course, we all reflect, don't we? Because for those of us who have children, and those who don't too, you think, well, Madeleine would have been in her early 20s today. It's just unimaginable to not know where your child is, even for 5 minutes. You know, when we've all, you lose your kid in a supermarket for 5 minutes, it's the worst 5 minutes of your life.
Absolutely. And with this story as well, you and I have covered it over the years, and it was me being a mother, and it's sort of almost, you had that discussion, didn't you, when you knew this had happened? What would we do? And I'm just sort of hoping for closure for the family, but it's really interesting. It feels so long ago in terms of the technology that wasn't there. It's hard to believe.
Precisely, yeah.
What didn't happen and what they couldn't find at the time, and what now may be happening as technology advances.
Yeah, absolutely, because as Rich was saying, and other reporters who are there, is that there are, even if they just find a fragment of something, even if it's a bit of a thread of clothing or whatever it might be, back in 2007, they might not have been able to extract DNA from it, whereas today, in 2025, they can do that. So they may have already been to this area before, but it may be just that they've got newer technology and they're more hopeful that they can get, well, as you say, some closure of some kind for Madeleine McCann's parents, and we wish them everything this morning. I can't imagine how awful this is for them. But look, you touched upon technology there, and Tyler this morning also making the headlines, to both of you, of course, is AI doctors and nurses. Tony Blair's been saying, look, we might all have a bit of intrinsic fear about where AI might be going. We've got to just get on with it now and accept that it might actually make our lives better.
We're already using AI more than we think we are. It's being used extensively already. Not enough, I think, in medical advances. But, you go in for a scan, there are many places now, analysing that imaging and getting you a better diagnosis, hopefully, because of AI. So I do think we shouldn't be scared of it. We need to embrace it. We're probably a little bit behind, I would say, because it would make things more efficient. If you look at where we already use it, you could be saving time if you're a civil servant or a nurse or doctor, get AI to do some of the analytical work, and then you can then be patient-facing.
Yeah, in the report, and Tony Blair was talking at a big convention about this, there's a recent government trial that found 30,000 civil servants could be freed from things like drafting documents, summarising meetings, handling emails, and therefore it would... Because actually a lot of what we want... I've had a lot to do with the NHS recently. My son's had an injury, I've had my appendix out. What you find is the people involved are doing a great job, but it's the process, it's the admin bit that lets the whole thing fall down.
The left hand is not talking to the right hand.
Absolutely.
And trying to even cancel an appointment or change it.
Yes.
It's really, really tough.
Nightmarish.
And AI could bring that all together in one app rather than 4.
I think it is useful, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's not real. Like, say, for example, you need AI to write you an essay. It might come out with all these, like, big, posh words and things like that, but it's not what you would say. I feel like...
But I don't think children and certainly people at university now, I don't think students should be using it blank. It's just another resource. It's
it's helpful.
You won't remember Britannia, the encyclopedias, but that's what it kind of is. You still need to analyse it yourself and write it.
And
so if it gets you kick-started with an essay, I think that's great, but what's really being tested is your ability to then flourish within that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because what he's saying is, look, certainly in education, in terms of saving time for teachers and so on, and for doctors and nurses...
Teachers are already using it to do their end of day. You know, the letter you used to get with kids at nursery?
Yeah.
Teachers are already using it.
Really,
it's not stealing jobs, it's just helping jobs. That's
I think there are more jobs will be created in needing to cope.
Yeah,
exactly.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Tyler.
So, I mean, if
You're
I come to me with
it's not your specialist subject, by the way.
Not my specialist.
But I love this story.
Well, 75 million users actively use it every single month, right? It's one of the biggest dating apps, but now there's, like, this section within the premium settings that you can specify the minimum and maximum height restrictions for your matches.
Look, I don't see a problem with that.
I want to give a shout out to all the short kings out there right now, that are feeling a little bit...
Short queen here, short
queen.
5 foot. I don't think I'd have done well on Tinder.
I just think, like some of my mates go, like, oh, yeah, my ideal man is, like, definitely over 6 foot. I'm like, listen, I'm 6'3". It's not ideal. I don't get any leg room, all right? My shoes, you never get it in size. It's purely Giacomo. The luggage is always overweight because there's so much material. Like, it's not that great. But also, like, specifying those requirements is just putting this unrealistic expectation out there for someone that you want to meet your dream person.
Yeah, but don't you think it's really interesting? Because actually, in the Times this morning, one of the columnists has said she's a really tall woman, the columnist.
Yeah.
And she said she's been on these dating apps and you get on really well on the phone, you see a photograph, you can't really tell how tall they are. Then you turn up and she's towering above this man. And you can just tell that there's no attraction because of it. And she's like, actually, it's a good idea for tall women. And probably, I don't know, is it anti-men?
Does it matter that much, though? Like, would you rather be with, like, someone over 6 foot that's an absolute wet wipe?
Everyone has their preferences, though. I mean, I come from a part of the world where I feel like on Asian dating apps, they used to have skin colour and that got adapted.
Yeah, and salary.
You know,
and
we've had worse. We've had worse.
And caste in my day when I was
those were adapted. With this, people do have a preference. I agree with you that it's a shame.
Although I was at a party the other way and there was a really tall girl and she said, could all the short women just leave all the tall men alone, please?
Yes.
Because the tall women are just
no one likes a short woman stealing a tall man.
That's right. Look, we've also got this brand new show, an ITV commissioned show.
Yeah.
It's about facing your fears of a particular kind.
Yes, exactly.
Well, there we go.
Sharks. Celebrity Infested Waters is coming later this month.
Sounds like Love Island.
I mean, massive lineup. Ade Patan, Ross Noble, Rachel Riley, Lucy Punch, Dougie Pointer's on it as well.
Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry's on it.
So what's the point of the show?
It's basically, like, celebrities that are scared of the ocean going to face their fears, and they do these challenges, and the breeds get bigger and bigger and more dangerous every single time.
And it's to do with the anniversary, 50 years of Jaws.
50 years of Jaws. I mean, I'm not doing that.
I'd love to do it. A trip to Barbados. I just don't have
Bahamas.
a fear. Oh, Bahamas. Sorry,
Bahamas, the most shark-infested waters in the world,
I'd love to do it, but I don't have a fear of sharks, not that I know of.
So then it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
No.
I wouldn't get asked.
But it's also just to remind us that sharks, even though we're afraid of them, actually they're really important for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
We should conserve them, and it's a bit of
You carry on with that mentality.
Yeah.
All right?
You're still going to watch people being scared.
Yeah.
You just stay in the shallow, warm waters of Ibiza.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you're happy there. And that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel. And if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.